Vivaan. Mira's black high-heeled shoes clicked smartly on the tile floor as we walked to the entrance of the rooftop restaurant. Although firmly beside her, my thoughts were still at her house as I relieved picking her up. Once again, she took my breath away when she answered the door. Her hair flowed loosely over her shoulders, and there was a soft curl in her dark tresses. Her dress was black and hugged her thin body beautifully, as if it too was as taken with the beauty as I was. "You look amazing," I heard myself say, so taken with the appearance that I barely realized the words came past my lips. Amazing was such an understatement, but I wasn't equipped to truly put words to my feelings. She was almost too perfect to touch. Then she broke into a beautiful Mira smile and threw her arms around me, giving me an excited hug. "You did tell me to dress up," she said happily, "although you still haven't told me where we're going." "It's a surprise," I said. I still astonished myself that I had managed to secure a reservation at Pasha, one of the most popular restaurants in Pune. And now we were at that restaurant, its glass columns glowing with a soft green light as we walked to the entrance. "I can't believe you got reservations here," she whispered excitedly. "I have always wanted to come here." I nodded modestly. It was a perfect place to take her, knowing I wanted to talk to her about our future together. The air was warm as we were escorted to our table, and I heard Mira squeal a little as we took in the beautiful city now waking up for the night. The traffic noises were far below us and barely noticeable over the soft music. I saw Mira's eyebrows rise when I ordered a bottle of Sutter Home Frebrat, her favorite non-alcoholic champagne. When we were alone again, she leaned across the table and whispered, "Gorgeous rooftop view, expensive champagne. This is a wonderful way to celebrate Musafir." I started to speak, but she leaned back, her eyes dancing in soft lights. "I haven't been able to stop thinking about it, to be honest," she continued. "I think it is such a wonderful idea. I love traveling with you because you take the time to learn about where we are going. And when we are there, you thoughtfully offer information, not because you know so much, but because you genuinely want to share your knowledge." "I'm so glad you understand that about me," I said. It was exactly what I try to do, to entertain and educate, but not in an "I know more than you" type of way. "I do," she gushed. "The natural next step for you is to start your own tour company." "I really can't wait," I said. "I have been thinking about it for a while, but now that I've talked to you about the idea, now that I've put the words out there in the air and spoken them out loud, suddenly I can't get started fast enough." "Good, then do it." She crossed her arms like she was challenging me. "Yes, ma'am," I said, giving her a playfully salute. "And how's your writing going?" Her face fell just a little bit. "Okay, I guess." I felt my eyebrow rise. That wasn't like Mira. "Okay, you guess?" She rolled her eyes and shook her head before giving me a beautiful smile. "Just a little bit of writer's block or something," she said. "No big deal. I'm just trying to figure out the next step I want to take." "Anything you want to talk over? Maybe I can help." "I'm sure this is just a little hiccup," she said, taking another sip of the champagne. "I just kind of feel like the path I started on with this one storyline is not the right one. I'm thinking of just deleting it and starting over with that section." "Isn't that hard?" I asked. "If you have put so much work into something, won't it be hard to just make it go away?" Mira shrugged her slender shoulders. "Perhaps, but if it isn't right, it isn't right." We slid into a comfortable silence for a few minutes, and then I pressed on to my next topic, the reason we were really here. "Actually, Mira," I began a little nervously, "I want to talk to you about something else." Surprise washed across her face. "Really?" I grinned at her confusion. "Yes, there is something else I want to discuss with you." She lifted her beautiful shoulder in a shrug. "Well, okay," she said. "I'll admit, I'm a little surprised. I thought we were just going to brainstorm ideas about Musafir. What is it you wanted to discuss?" I didn't know where to start. As much as I had practiced the words over and over again in my head, nothing would come out. Sensing my nervousness, Mira said my name gently. "What's wrong?" she said, her voice rising a little with concern. I cleared my throat. This is ridiculous, I thought. We've been together for 3 years. It's a big move. But she's my best friend and the woman I know I want to spend the rest of my life with. So why does this feel so odd? Mira immediately narrowed her eyes, piercing me with a questioning stare. Where are you, Vivaan? You seem a million miles away right now. You're not planning on running again, are you? I let out a laugh. No, believe me, Mira, that is the last thing I'm thinking about. I assured her. I reached across the table and laced my fingers with hers. She let out a relieved sigh. I'm sorry I even thought it. She said, you just seem so... Marriage, I said, interrupting her when I blurted out the word. What do you think about the idea of getting married someday? Her eyes grew wide as my words washed over her. Vivaan, she said, what exactly are you saying? I cleared my throat again. Well, I began. We have been together for a long time now. 3 years, she confirmed. Yes, I said. Over the last 3 years, we have shared a lot. But we've also been apart a lot. Your career is just starting, and you have had to put a tremendous amount of time into it, and I'm glad, I said quickly. Afraid she would think I was complaining. You knew what you wanted to in life, you knew you wanted to be a writer, and you made it happen. I'm so proud of you. And while you have been going off to book signings and other commitments with your writing, I've been going in my own directions, traveling and learning more about where we live. Yes, that is true, Mira agreed. I'm just thinking that maybe if we were married, our relationship would be more stable. We could still go off and do what we love, but we would always know we were coming home to each other. Mira sat back and chewed on her lip thoughtfully. I don't have a ring or anything, I said. I just thought we should talk about it for now. See if this is the next logical step for us. I waited and watched Mira take a deep breath, and then another. I could see her thinking hard, but it was one of those rare times that I had no idea what was in her mind. Her eyes drifted away from mine, taking in Pune at night, but I had a feeling she was purely seeing what was in front of her. Finally, I couldn't take it any longer. Mira, say something. Well, she began slowly, twirling the stem of her glass between her fingers. I'm just surprised. You are? I asked. But you have been together for 3 years. Mira nodded. It's been a wonderful 3 years with you. And this is the logical next step. I prodded. Taking another sip, she gently put the glass on the table and reached for me, wrapping both of her soft hands around mine. In a lot of ways, yes, but Vivaan, you surprised me because I never really thought it was possible with us. Why not? Radha, she said simply. Even after all this time, hearing her name made my stomach lurch. Radha, the woman I was going to marry, was murdered on our wedding day. It broke me so deeply that I never thought I would be able to fully heal. I looked in Mira's eyes and remembered the day I told her about Radha. I watched Mira's hopes for a future with me crumble as I confessed that I would never be able to love her the way I had loved my fiancé and that my heart was still committed to another woman, one long dead. Although I was always the one running away early in our relationship, that day Mira ran from me. She ended up on the path to Chor Darwaza and fell down the steep slope at Rajgarh. For days, she was in coma. I don't know if you heard me while you were in the coma, Mira, but even then I was telling you that my heart had found its home with you. I loved you then and I love you now. You, Mira, are not someone in my life who replaced Radha in my heart. You are your own person. You are strong, wonderful, kind, and caring. You are you. You are my Mira. Tears glistening in her eyes as she absorbed my words. We ate in relative silence, speaking only to make small talk over our delicious meal. At first, I was afraid that I had ruined our evening, but watching Mira's delight as she ate her palak paneer, and then how she playfully took a bite of the dal pasha from my spoon, I knew her silence was because she was negotiating through a maze of confusion at my talk of marriage. I truly had no idea that she had dismissed the idea of marrying me because of Radha, but I vowed to make Meera understand that she was the most important woman in my life. Vivaan, Meera started after we shared a delicious dessert of Sydney. I'm sorry that I've been so quiet about what you were saying. You surprised me, but I do know you love me. And I love you too. This is just a new idea for me to absorb. I understand, I said, relieved that she was considering the idea. Let's take some time and think about it, she suggested. You go on your trip to Bangalore and I'll go to Delhi. Litfest is planned. When those are behind us, let's talk about the idea some more. That night, as we said goodbye, I could feel her love like a burst of energy as she kissed me goodnight. I knew that although I had caught her off guard, she was not rejecting me or turning away from our love. She simply needed some time to acclimate herself to something she had thought was an impossibility for us.